Okay, this is now the 5 Minute Tarot for the 23rd of November 2017. And I was going to continue on with the backward journey through the major trumps, but something came up and I had an idea and I wanted to just tell you about it first. And it has to do with sometimes people want a reading, but they don't know what to ask, or they don't have one particular or two questions that they know that they want to ask about. So what do you do? And it's a bit like, what if the questioner doesn't have any questions? What do you do? And I thought, if let's say the person sitting in front of you is sitting opposite, and you say, what do you want to know? And they say, I don't know. You tell me. What do you do? And I think what you do is you say to the questioner, just tell me something, start speaking. And based on what they say, you, the reader, make note of questions, and then you pick a card for each question. So let's say the person says, you say to the person, okay, tell me what you want to know. I don't know. Okay, well, just talk anyway. Well, okay, I'd really like to know something, but I don't know what. I've been kind of stuck recently, or I'm not that in. I thought I was interested in this particular subject, but I find that I just can't be bothered. And I was hoping that it would give me an idea of what to do with myself, because at this point I'm kind of bored and kind of stuck. And I have this girlfriend or boyfriend or partner, and they're really annoying at the moment, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me, but so you get the person to ramble on for 2 or 3 minutes, and it doesn't matter what they talk about or what they say, because the reader is listening to what they're saying, and you're either at the moment you're making notes, or after they finish speaking, you say, okay, you talked about being stuck, so we're going to write down a question about, but it's not so much a question. It doesn't have to be a question. It can be that you want the tarot to give some kind of comment on the person being stuck, right? So you write down being stuck, let's say, and then you think about how to, maybe it's important, or you wonder, how can you get your momentum back? What do you need to do to get your enthusiasm back? Or what do you do instead? Because you thought this project you're involved in would be motivating, but it isn't. So what are you going to do instead? And so you write down, for instance, how to get your motivation back, what to do instead, what about the partner, the relationship, what's happening with it? And maybe you write down 6 questions, and then you go back and you shuffle and you pick a card for each of the questions. But the card, it can be an answer, it can lead to more questions, it can help explain why something is happening. So maybe you shuffle, I should have thought of this before. So let's say you're talking to the person, they say, I'm unmotivated. I thought this project was going to do it, but I've lost interest. What do I do instead? So you shuffle and you pick a card and you get, what do you do instead? The Queen of Pentacles reversed. So what do you do instead? You stop acting like a queen. So kings go out and make things happen. Queens respond to circumstances. So instead of waiting for the right moment, the perfect moment, or waiting for the inspiration to come, be decisive. Choose what you want to do and then do it. And if it doesn't work, do something else. But so with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, be decisive instead of waiting for the right moment or waiting for the right idea. Just do something, for instance. Or maybe you get, again, the same question, what do I do instead? And get the Moon reversed. That's more complicated, maybe. If you remember from the previous videos, I talked about the moon and the crayfish here emerging from the water onto the land, but it's upside down. So instead, if the moon had been upright, what do you do instead? Move from what you're comfortable with into or onto a new path, right? So do something different, do something you haven't done before. But because the moon is upside down, that can mean there's a delay. So instead of trying to find something new, the crayfish leaving the water, moving onto the land, your problem of being stuck is not going to be solved by doing something different, by leaving the water and emerging onto the land. What you're supposed to do is go back to that project that you become bored with and keep working at it. Either develop what you've already done, or else do something new with it, or else examine what the original maybe you go back to the beginning and examine the original project and what you were intending doing with it, and then start again. But it's going to be, if you leave the project the way it is at the moment and try to find something new and different that's going to solve your problem, but apparently you've got a problem. If that something new is not going to work. So if you try to do something new, you're going to take your indecision or your difficulty with you into the new project, where you're going to have to deal with this block, let's say a creative block at some point. So you may as well deal with it now in the situation that you find yourself in, instead of hoping that by finding something new, the problem will solve itself or it'll go away. It's not going to go away until you face it and deal with it. Right, so that's from getting the moon reversed. So what you do is you've got a list of questions like, let's say I'm bored, I'm stuck, I'm unmotivated. What about the partnership? What do I do with the partnership? And again, we pick a card and get the Three of Pentacles, right? So we've got the expert here, and we've got the two people who are maybe consulting the expert. So what do you do with the relationship? Maybe what you do is you take more seriously the partner. So because maybe it's telling us that the partner has skills and abilities that you don't value, or that you have neglected, or that you haven't been paying attention to. There was a photographer once mentioned that if you want to take more interesting photographs, stand in front of more interesting things, which is quite good. And maybe that's the lesson of this Three of Pentacles for partnerships. So you're standing in front of, or you actually have an interesting, satisfying partnership, but you don't recognize it. You don't see it that way. So what you do is examine, look at, appreciate what you've got, rather than assume that it's not very good, or it's not as good as you wanted it to be, or it's not as good as it could be. So instead of taking the idea that there's something wrong with it, because this Three of Pentacles is a card of mastership in its own way, because the fellow on here, this, get it reversed, this fellow, him, the one standing on the, I'm dyslexic, so I get it the wrong way around. This guy here, okay, this one standing on the bench, he's the expert. So he's capable, he's proved that he knows what he's doing. And these two other people are coming to consult him, or to give him instructions, or to ask him what to do. So in the same way, look at the relationship the same way. The partner, the spouse, is an awful lot more capable than you give them credit for. You're standing in front of an interesting person. Make yourself see in what way they're interesting. And that's going to change you, so the relationship is better. So my point is, if you're not sure what the question ought to be, or what the question is, get the questioner to ramble on for a couple of minutes. Extract from their ramblings 2 or 3 points that they've made, and then choose a card to explain or describe or solve the problem, or help understand or bring about understanding of what's actually going on, or what's really going on, or what's going on that has been missed. We don't need to have just one point that we want to make, or one kind of information that we want to get from the card. You relax and you know the kind of question you want to ask about. You pick a card and you see what you can do with it. And this can be how I've mentioned before, but not for a while, about you ask, if you want to practice cards, you think, okay, what's going to happen in this relationship? And you're on your own and you pick a card. What's going to happen is the Ten of Cups. It's going to be good. What's going to happen in this relationship? You pick the next card, the Six of Swords reversed. There's a difficulty. You're going to have to learn to live with it, because instead of being able to move away from it, it's upside down. So you're going to have to live longer with the awkwardness. What's going to happen in this relationship? The Lovers. It's going to be good. New energy, new enterprise, new lease of life on the relationship. So what you do is you take the same question and you pick card after card and think about what you would say or what you could say about the answer if that were the card. So that means that if you've got a questioner who's been talking for a couple of minutes and you've written down half a dozen areas of interest, you can then pick a card for each of the areas of interest and say something sensible about it. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you. Probably I should be back tomorrow with something about where are we? The Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit card, and maybe back one more to Justice. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again. Bye bye.